So this next concept is one about the least common multiple. This is a fairly complicated concept in math, but really essential to know. The least common multiple is the first number that comes up moving upwards that two numbers can both multiply to. I'm going to say that again. It is the smallest number that two different numbers, usually small, can multiply up to, and they'd be the same thing. So, for instance, the example I give you is 4 and 6. The way they did all the multiples they could of 4. They did 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, etc. For 6, they did the same thing. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. And what they're looking for, they want to find what the smallest number is that both of them can multiply up to. They found out the first one that comes up is 12. And that's it. That is the least common multiple. Let's do an example. 6 and 8. Do this. To find the least common multiple, we do the multiples of 6. So 6 times 1 is 6, times 2 will be 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 7 is 42, 6 times 8 is 48. Now for 8, 8 times 1 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 3 is 24, then 32, then 40, 48, 56, and 64. Now we're looking for what is the least common multiple. The one that the first one that we see that both of them have in common. 6 does not have in both, 12 is not in both, 18 is not in both, 24 is in both. 24 is in both 6 and 8 in the multiple sets, so the answer, our least common multiple, will be 24. My answer will be 24. One more. Let's do 4 and 12. 4. Let's do 4 times 1 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 12, times 4 is 16, times 5 is 20, then 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, and 48. For 12, I have 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. I can probably stop there. I've probably hit one by now. I say, okay, 4 is not in both, 8 is not in both, but 12 is. It turns out the first one I did is my least common multiple. In this case, the least common multiple, the LCM, will be 12. Now, that's one method of doing this. There is a second method. It's a little more complicated, but I think is a little better for a long-term math plan to understand some really important concepts. What you do a factor tree. We did this last week. You do this. You do 20, set up your factor trees, and 12. 20 can be divided by 2, that's a prime number, times 10, that's a composite number. 10 can be divided into 2 and 5. So this will be 2 times 2 times 5. 12 can be split into 2 and 6. 6 is a composite number. 3 and 2. This will be 2 times 2 times 3. Now, what I want to do to find the least common multiple, I have to take the highest incidence of a single factor in total. So here I have, for 20, I have 2 times 2 times 5. For 12, I have 2 times 2 times 3. And what I have to do, I want to say, okay, what are my factors? I have 2, 3, and 5. That's all I'm seeing up here. 2 happens at most 2 times. 3 happens at most 1 time. 5 happens at most 1 time. So my least common multiple will be 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. This is the most times it's happened in a single number. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. I'm going to have to do some math. 5 times 3 is 15 times 2 is 60. 5 times 3 is 15 times 2 is 30 times 2 will be 60. That should be my least common multiple. If I want to check that, we do, okay, 20, 40, 60. 12, I have 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60. Indeed, this is the first one that comes up using my other method. I think this method is a little more useful moving forward to talk about factors and eventually exponents, but we're not quite there yet. If you want to use this other method, that's totally legitimate. I just want to give access to both. For the next one, 20 and 5, 20 can be split into 10 and 2, 2 and 5, 5 and 1. I have 1, 2, 5, 1 time, 2 times, pardon me. Let's see, 2 here. And 5 only happens at most 1 time in a single. So it'll be 2 times 2 times 5, 4 times 5 equals 20. My least common multiple will be 20. Okay, so that's how you do least common multiple. If this method is more comfortable for you, please stick with it. That's totally fine for now. If you have any questions, please just let me know.